Hey everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner. Welcome back. All right, so every year at the end of the year, or close to the end of the year, Brad and I like to sit down together. It's kind of the one time of year where you actually show your face on camera.
And sit down.
Anyway, so we like to sit down and just kind of talk about some of our favorite classes, some favorite things we did throughout the last year, kind of just a fun little recap of the last year.
Can't believe it's already here again.
I know, it's kind of weird. This year flew by.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started out this year with one of my favorite classes, Visual Guide to Machine Quilting Quilt Blocks. That one was super fun because not only did I quilt one version of the quilt, but there's actually two different versions. The center of the quilt has the option to machine quilt a Lone Star or an applique block. So it was really fun, a lot more traditional kind of quilt. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that class.
That's always a fun one. We always kick in the new year with a class like that. It's always fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You really know how to tear it up around here.
Yep. And my favorite block on that one was the dog block.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Did you like that one?
I like that one, yeah.
Okay, so after that, then I decided to just go back to the basics, and we hosted the Free Motion Filler Frenzy. I loved the Free Motion Filler Frenzy. First of all, because the panel that we designed to quilt it on is actually my Orange Slice logo, so that was kind of fun to quilt it on there. But it was just fun to go back to the basics and start out with something simple. I think sometimes it's easy to start doing really complex and complicated designs, and not every quilt needs that. And we all start somewhere, so that one was fun.
That was fun to always try to get you to say it, Free Motion Filler Frenzy, without screwing up.
That one was a tongue twister.
That was a fun one though. Remember the interaction. We did a live one for that one, right? That was so much fun.
If you've not taken any of my classes during the original launch period, we host live videos on Facebook. So if the class is like 7 lessons long, we release the lessons over 7 days. And then each day as we release those lessons, I also jump on Facebook and host a live session where I'm quilting along with you and answering your questions. So it's always really fun when we do those. Yeah. Brad is in here helping. He's the cameraman every time we do those. So even though you're not seeing him, he's
involved.
He's in there.
And every morning we go through and see who's shared and which give away, stuff like that. So it's always, it gets us interacting and having fun with it. I love that one.
That one was really fun. Was Maybe in the future we'll do like a 2.0 or something, because that really was a lot of fun. So after that, y'all know pretty much every quilt has a border. Maybe not every quilt I make, but a lot of quilts have borders. So I created my third border class, and that was Border Builder Bootcamp. And that one was also a lot of fun. It was fun because I got to focus on using our new Sway machine quilting rulers, which are so much fun. And it was a great way to really showcase just a few of the seriously hundreds of ideas or ways that you can use those Sway machine quilting rulers.
Another fun one that there was a lot of interaction and sharing on the show and tell page. It was great.
Yeah, I love seeing everybody's stuff. It feels like we're almost in person with you when you're interactive like that. And
that was a good one. Good one to follow up with the Free Motion one. That one was great.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my favorite things is the actual client quilts that I actually quilt for my clients during the year. I don't quilt as many each year as I maybe did 10 years ago, but I still do quilt quite a few quilts for my clients, and I love doing it. Something that I've always loved about custom machine quilting for clients is the variety in quilts that my clients make. You know, one day I might be quilting the most modern quilt, and the next day it might be the most traditional quilt you've seen. So it's really fun. It makes it so that I don't get bored when I'm machine quilting. I'm having fun and being creative all the time. But I love sharing my process of custom machine quilting my quilts in the Piece and Quilt Academy. And there were a few. I quilted a lot of awesome quilts this year, but there were a few of them that really stood out to me. And if you haven't checked out these videos over in the Piece and Quilt Academy, run, because they are freaking awesome. And the first one I have to talk about is the pixelated pink quilt that I quilted this year. So this one just will always hold a really special place in my heart. My friend designed it and pieced it, and then she let me custom machine quilt this for her. It was actually the first pixelated quilt that I've ever quilted, and it was really fun to be able to bring it to life. Did you have any that you loved?
That one. that one for me, I'll be honest with you, when she comes in here and decides and she gets stressed out about what she's gonna do, this is the only one that I was like, what are you gonna do? Like, I was stressed out about it. just because of the connection we have with Shelly who made it and all that. That was so much fun to follow the entire time.
It was probably the longest I've ever had a quilt on my long arm machine. I think it was actually on for about 2 months, but it was totally worth it. I loved how the quilt turned out.
So awesome.
And Shelly has entered it into several quilt shows already. So hopefully many of you will actually be able to see that quilt in person when it's hanging at some shows starting hopefully the first part of next year. So when I know more about the shows, I will share it on my social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a cool quilt. Yeah.
So that one was really cool. Another one that I loved quilting and sharing my process of this year was my urban cabin quilt. So this is one that I actually went to a retreat with some of my quilting friends, and I pieced this quilt there, and then I just had fun custom machine quilting it. I used about every single motif you could ever think of and just played. So check out that video. I think you'll definitely find a lot of inspiration there too. Do you have any others that you would?
This was awesome.
Yeah, so our daughter, our oldest child, she made a few quilts around the end of the first of this year for some of her friends that were graduating from high school, and one of them was a strip quilt. There's a video again in the Peace and Quilt Academy where I quilted every single strip on that quilt with a different motif, and it was really fun. Something I definitely recommend doing. Just load some fabric on there and start playing. That was a really fun quilt.
It was fun to follow as well.
To machine quilt. So one other one that I loved was my Joplin quilt. Another one that I pieced, and I just went crazy custom machine quilting that one, and it's so much fun. I just love it. So that was something fun for me. Yeah. So also this year, really we focused a lot on my new Sway machine quilting rulers.
It was the year of the Sway.
It was definitely. I spent a lot of time in here quilting with them while Brad was working shipping them.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Yeah. You guys have kept those Sway machine quilting rulers flying off our shelves, and
we appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
That keeps us doing what we do. And how cool of the rulers are they? Well, going from the very beginning of watching you guys design, I thought my head was going to spin off to how it turned out. It's such a cool, versatile ruler, and even I can see like that thing is awesome. I guess those three are awesome.
I love them, and I'm still every day when I use them, I'm like, there's more and more and more that these rulers can do. They're really
Definitely
cool.
The year of the Sway ruler for sure.
So we don't share our kids here as much as we used to. They're getting a little bit older, but I know many of you kind of know like the origin story. I started doing this long arm machine quilting when I was super pregnant with our first child, and she just turned 16 years old. So this is kind of weird. Like, I've really been doing this full time for 16 years now, and she drives, and it's weird. But one thing that I know many of you have even supported her throughout the years, but she is a competitive swimmer. And the first part of this year, she actually won 2 high school state championships and set records at her high school as a freshman. So we're really proud of her for that. Mm-hmm. And then we have a little boy that started intermediate school this year, and maybe someday he'll come back and tell y'all jokes, because he still has some pretty good jokes. But
he grew a mullet.
He has a mullet, has long, beautiful hair now. He's really into fitness right now, and we're just proud of his funny little personality.
We'll pay him and he'll come back and tell some jokes.
Yeah, I might have to pay him to tell more jokes. But yeah, overall it was a really
big year. Pretty
good year. We were able to take a really fun family vacation with our kids, something we haven't been able to do a lot. So that was
very cool.
Really fun. Mm-hmm. So thank you all for supporting us throughout this year. We have some really fun stuff in store for next year. Obviously, new classes, other stuff I'm working on, but we're really excited. Obviously, lots of new videos will also be coming to the Peace and Quilt Academy every month. Mm-hmm. So
thanks for everything.
Yep. Have a great day, everybody.
Did I get any of it?